All right. I have my chat. I have my people. Welcome to week 4. Okay, welcome. Come on in. Hey, will you do me a favor? Will you sign in right there? And I have my pencil box. I found my pencil box. And there's a calculator. Grab a calculator because we might practice using my calculators. Packet. See that top row? Look at the left one. Or if you already grabbed one last week, it's in there. So it's in there. Yes. Okay. So welcome to week 4. This is where it starts to get a little bit real, a little bit of pressure because the exam is coming next week. Okay. So the first thing is this week is practice exam week. Now, the practice exam, you need to understand everything on that practice exam. Okay, if there's something you don't understand, step 1, find out which week it showed up in the review session. Okay, look at your notes from the review session or go back and look at the video from the review session. So the practice exam, I believe it's called practice exam, practice for exam, something, is super important. Okay. Now, what if you're stuck and you type it into a math solver? Is that the end of the world? No. Then you need to do it again on your own. Welcome. And you are on, it's no video, it's just audio. Okay. Thank you for all you do though. You keep me running. So you need to come in, he comes in. Okay. So group exam, you need to understand everything on the group exam. Okay, these are the must knows. If not, come on by and we can talk about things. Okay, when you come in to take your exam, the first thing you're going to do is I'm going to say, did you make your 1 page of notes? It's going to save you time if you make that at home. Okay, and I'm going to hand you a group exam all worked out. And I'm going to say, do you understand everything on this group exam? If not, we need to talk about it. There's lots of noise distracting me. Focus. Okay, so coming up now, if you're planning on coming in, send me an inbox message and tell me this is when I can come in. Okay, so coming up. So this week we are focusing on the practice exam. You need to understand everything on the practice exam. And look, while you're working on the practice exam, you may want to start working on your 1 page of notes front and back, writing steps, writing examples, writing vocabulary, whatever you want to put on there. Okay, let's get started. Now, I want to apologize for my voice and my cough. Okay, it's going to be like this for a couple weeks. So I apologize in advance for all of the coughing I'll be doing during this session. Okay, number 1, find the slope. This was on a previous review session. This one is on your own, or stick around and we'll do it together in the end. Okay, so that one's on your own. Number 2, given the recursive formula, notice we have 2 types of formulas. Recursive has 2 parts. Explicit has how many parts? There we go. Yeah, 1. There we go. Thank you. So given the recursive formula, find the first 5 terms. You're going to do that one on your own or stick around and request it at the end. Explicit, find the first 5 terms and the 52nd term. You want to see that again? Stick it around. Stick it around. Stick around. Okay. Number 4, write the recursive formula. We are going to do this one together. Recursive formula. Zoomers and people here, does a recursive formula have 1 part, or 2 parts? There we go. There we go. The recursive has 2 parts. I want to know what a sub 1 is and what a sub n is. Thank you. A sub 1. What does that itty bitty little 1 mean? Stands for the first term. Easy peasy, -1. Awesome. Okay. A sub n. I need to find, is there a D? D stands for common difference. Awesome. Yes, that is exactly what D is. Okay. Is there a common difference? Yes. It's going up 8. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you a common mistake. That's the common mistake. They put this for the answer on the test. This is not right. Something is missing. So how do I get the next term? What goes in here? Previous term? Yeah. So this is a sub. What came before n? N minus 1. Yeah, not too bad, but you are absolutely going to need to have an example of this on your notes or you're going to blank and forget what to do. Okay, recursive has 2 parts. Where do I start? Right, first term. And how do I get the next term? I take the previous term and I add 8. Notice I do not ask for the 52nd term. The recursive formula does not have a method for getting all the way to the 52nd term. You have to go hop, 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 hop. Okay, recursive, you have to hop from one term to the next. You can't jump all the way to the 52nd term. Okay, 6 and 7, we're going to come back to at the end. I'll give you a hint. It's not a common difference. It's a common ratio. It's a multiply, not an add. Okay, I will do those at the end. Let's keep going. Okay, number 8. Ted just bought a new car for $35,000. Suppose the value of the car decreases by 7% each year. Write a sequence for the teacher's salary. Typo. Write a sequence. Oh, yeah, copy paste. Write a sequence for the price of the car for the first 5 years. Okay. I have some things after all these years I haven't cleaned up. I need to clean that up. Now you're thinking, take 7%, change it to 0.07, multiply, and then subtract. But I would like you to do this my way because my way leads to the formula eventually. We're going to find the multiplier. So I'm going to take, okay, now decreasing. Yeah, am I going to add 7% or subtract?
Subtract.
Subtract. So I'm going to take 100% minus 7%, and that's 93%. That is not my multiplier. Okay, I'm going to put it into a decimal. So I'm going to move the decimal 2 places. The multiplier is 0.93. So I subtract to create the multiplier, and then I multiply. So 35,000 written without any commas, because I'm going to need commas in between. Okay, how do I get, now it's decreasing 7%. Everyone grab a calculator. So how am I going to get the next one?
Multiplying it by 9.93.
Okay, so take 35, turn it on, clear, 35,000 times 0.93. Notice I don't have to subtract. That gives me the next year. Do not clear your calculator. Yeah. So take this times 0.93 again. $30271.5. That's really 50 cents. Times 0.93 again. Notice I'm going to round it on paper. I'm going to leave it full in the calculator. 28152. 495 rounds up to 50 cents. So notice I rounded on paper. I didn't clear my calculator. Times 0.93 again. Rounding to 6181.82. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So start with the first one, write down the first one, and then multiply by the multiplier. Okay, number 9, we're going to do at the end. Number 10. We're not going to use foil. We're going to use the box. Now, I realize some of you are really fast at foil, but there are times in a quiz where it says you need to use the box. So I am multiplying x plus 6 and x plus 8. So fill in the box, please. Okay, Zoomers, what is going to go into box A? There we go. Okay, I know you meant X. Thank you. X squared. What goes in to box B?
8x.
Thank you. 8x. All right. Here we have 6x, and here we have 48. Notice my box has 4 spots, but my answer is not going to have 4. My answer is going to have 3, right? Because now we combine like terms. Notice, what is 6 times 8? 48. What is 6 plus 8? 14. Ah, this is 6 times 8. And this is 6 plus 8. Okay. Okay, so right there, and the box is over there. So much noise. Okay, factor completely. So we're looking for this. We're going to make a little box. X squared goes here. Minus 35 goes here. So I need two numbers that multiply to get negative 35 and add to get negative 2. So chart of factors. Now, if you took one home last week, go ahead and give this back to me when we're done. If you do not have one at home, sorry, these have staples. Okay.
5 and 7.
So according to the chart of factors, look at the 35 box. And you're like, I already know. Okay, I need two numbers that multiply to get negative 35 and add to get negative 2. I'm not going to go over to the chart of factors because we pretty much know this is negative 7 and positive 5. Negative 7x and positive 5x. When I add negative 7x plus 5x, I will get negative 2x. So now yeah.
It doesn't matter where we put the negative 7 and 5 because I put it the opposite way.
Absolutely perfect. It does not matter. So these are fixed. These can be switched. Okay. And that is whether we're factoring or anything. Okay. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 7 is negative 7x. X times 5 is 5x. So we get x plus 5 and x minus 7. Do you want to take it? Oh, okay, just put it in that basket.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay. So here's our answer. So review. If that's confusing, we can come back to that. Now we are going to talk about graphing. Write the slope-intercept form of this equation. So let's begin with B. What is, oh, good. Awesome. Oh, wait.
Negative 4.
Okay, I'm not sure where the 2.5 came from. And is it +4 or -4? So here is the spine of the graph. Here is where the blue line hits the spine. So B is -4. And now we need the slope. So for the slope, here is 1 point. We're going up. Where does it, you know what? I'm not sure where it hits, but I know it definitely hits there. It might hit in between, but it definitely hits there. Ah, that's what you meant. 4 and 2.5. It does hit here. But I'm not going to use that one because I don't want to use a decimal. Okay, and I just figured out what you were trying to tell me. Awesome. So we're going to do this. So I get from corner to corner and don't have to use a decimal. So we're going to say up 8 over 5. So up 8 over 5. Notice this is the change in y and this is the change in x. That little triangle is Greek letter delta in science. It comes from science. Change in y over change in x. Okay, so now we can write our equation. Y equals m x minus 4. Or y equals m x plus -4. Because we know that subtracting 4 is the same as adding a -4. Okay, you'll notice I have been rushing through this. 13, 14, and 15 are the hardest problems of the week. And now we are going to slow down and we are going to look at these in several different ways. Because we want to have a full, complete understanding. So, method number 1. Is either the box method or the table method. I don't know what I called it. Did I call it box method last week or table? I'm going to call it table method.
I think you came up with some kind of name for it. I'm not sure if that was this or something else.
Okay. So we start with the point -5, 5. And we start with the slope. So change in y, slope is change in y over change in x. Is that true? Okay, slope is y is on top, x is on the bottom.
Yep.
So something, I'm going to add 3 to something. I'm going to add 3 to the -5 on the right. I'm going to add 3 to the y's. Okay, so this is the table method, not the quickest method. and does not always work. It's going to work this time. So the y's go up 3. So this is the trickiest part. You actually start with the right column. And every time my y's go up 3, my x's are going to go up 5. So that's 0. So if I do it again, my y's go up 3 every time my x's go up 5. So this is showing that you understand how the slope works. Just in case you have to make a video for me demonstrating multiple methods. Okay, so the y's go up 3 as the x's go up 5. From this table, can you tell me the slope?
3/5.
Okay. Which we knew from right there. From this table, can you tell me the y-intercept? Yeah? So does this make more sense than it did last week? Okay. So here, right here is the y-intercept. -2. Y equals 3/5 x minus 2. Okay, good. Now, this is an interesting method, but it's not the standard method. So we're going to use method number 2. And why are we doing 2 methods? One is because sometimes one is easier, sometimes the other is easier. Also, it gives us a deeper understanding of this, is the slope-intercept method. Y equals mx plus b. Now, if you are doing this on an exam, you're going to pick a method that looks like the easiest for this particular problem, and you're going to show your work. Okay. I know m is 3/5. You with me? Now, even though we just found B with the table, if I'm doing method number 2, slope-intercept method, I do not yet know B. Okay, don't get distracted by the fact that I found it with the table, because just using this method, I don't know B. But I know an X value, -5. And I know, oh my gosh, I know a Y value. It's also -5. That's a little distracting. So I can use this to solve for B. So y equals mx plus b. I'm going to plug in y is -5. M is 3/5. X is -5. And I'm looking for B. Okay, with my calculator, we are going to practice the fraction button. So with my calculator, I want to do 3/5 times -5. So you're going to go 3 ABC 5. Go ahead and hit equals. Ooh, I'm gonna answer that question in just a minute. And then I'm gonna hit times -5, not -5. That is 3/5 times -5. If you hit the minus, you're gonna get an error. Okay, and what do you get? -3. Okay, so we're gonna learn how to use the ABC button to do our fractions, or by hand. Okay, let's talk about it by hand. Can I subtract 5 from 3? This is not subtraction. This is multiplication. And it will, when you plug this in, it will always be multiplication. So it's 3 times -5. Yeah, does that make sense? Super important right there. 3 times -5. And you cannot do 3 minus 5. So glad you asked that question. Okay. Or doing it the short way, I cancel the 5s. So I have 5 is equal to -3 plus -5 is equal to -3 plus b. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And I get b is equal to -2. M, I already knew, was 3/5. So y equals 3/5 x minus 2. Okay, now the slope intercept method will always work. The table, you could build a table. If the table comes out a fraction, you're not gonna get the y-intercept from the table. Okay, so the table method, kind of interesting. Slope intercept method always works. Method number 3 is point slope. And we're not going to do that right now. But the point slope method is method number 3. Okay, number 14. So we're going to use a combination. You guys, as far as these problems go, can you tell why I really like these numbers? Why do I like the points -4, 1, and 0, 3? What is my favorite number of -4, 1, 0, and 3? 0. Woo, love the 0. There, wait, what? There it is, right there. Love the 0. So excited about the fact that one of my points has x equals 0. Da na 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 na. Happy dance. Okay, so let's make a table. -4, 1 and 0. Yeah, 0, 3. Okay, now, do we know what b is? Okay, Zoomers, what is B? And there we go. Ding, ding, ding. Anyone else? B equals 3. Yeah? Okay, so now I need slope. So 2 ways to do it. We can either get slope from the table or the formula. If you're doing the formula, you're going to go y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But I kind of just see it in the table. Let's start with the y's. How much do the y's go up? 2. So change in y equals 2. Every time the y's go up 2, how much did the x's go up? Awesome. 4. Change in x is 4. Now, is 2/4 my slope that I'm going to use for my equation?
No,
No, because fractions must always be
simplify.
simplified or reduced. Okay, so m, thank you, is 1/2. All right, so notice this is kind of a combination. I chose to use the table because it looked like it was going to be the easiest for this problem. But you could have used the slope formula and then just tell me the y-intercept is 3. So y equals 1/2 x plus 3. Number 15. So take a minute, take a deep breath. This is the hardest one of the day. Okay, I'm going to make a little table. -2, -4. I'm going to leave room for -1 and then 0, 3. You don't have to. In fact, I don't know if I'm going to use it, but just in case. Okay, now it says write the standard form. You don't start with the standard form. You start with slope intercept. And then you go to standard form. Okay, so slope intercept form. I need M and I need B.
B is 3.
Okay, B is 3 because yay, happy dance. I got an ordered pair with an X value of 0. I already have B. If I did not already have B, you would have to plug in M, plug in X, plug in Y, solve for B, which we did earlier. Okay, B is 3. So now I need M. So I could either use the table or the formula. Let's do the formula this time. M equals y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So let's go this way. Three minus -4. Zero minus -2. Notice the double negatives. One negative came from the formula, the other negative came from the point. Correct. Okay, so with your calculator, let's practice with the calculator. Yeah. 3 minus -4. See if you get 7 with the calculator. 3 minus -4. Yeah. So we use minus and the negative that is below the 3 with a little parentheses. So, or keep change, which is 7. Keep change, which is 2. Okay, so M is 7/2. So Y equals 7/2x plus 3. Okay, we are only halfway there because I start with slope intercept form and then I have to convert it into standard form. So we're halfway done. Is everyone with me? Anyone have a question on how I got this far? Okay. This is slope intercept form. I need to change it to standard. Notice with standard form, the x's are on the left side of the equal sign. The y's are on the left side of the equal sign. The constant term is isolated on the right. So step 1, eliminate any fractions. So I am going to eliminate, I have a fraction. So I'm going to multiply every term by what number? Okay, everyone take a minute, think. Okay, if you're here in person, you're going to show me with your fingers. If you're on Zoom, you're going to type it in. Okay, I'm going to multiply every term by a certain number. Zoomers. One of these numbers makes it a fraction. Yeah, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, the 2. The 2 is the denominator. It is my only bottom number. So I'm going to multiply everything by 2. So this is 2y. And this is +6. Everyone with me so far? So what is 7/2 times 2? We can practice with the calculator. Let's practice with the calculator. 7 ABC2 equals times 2. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is what I'm seeing is 14/2, right? And 14/2 reduces to
7.
7. Now, can you see that I could also just cancel the 2's? I have a 2 on the top, cancels with a 2 on the bottom. Okay, and that's what we're going to practice. This is really 2/1, right? Okay, 2 on top cancels with 2 on the bottom and leaves 7. Did I miss anything? Is there anything missing from here? Anything super, there we go. I left out the X, right? Okay. So this problem isn't hard, but it's long. It has a lot of steps. Now, to be standard form, my X's need to be on the left, my Y's need to be on the left, then the equal sign, then the constant term. Something has to move.
7x.
Okay, so I'm gonna move the 7x. They can't be over here on the right. They need to be on the left. Now, when you add these, are they like terms? Can I combine them together? 2 minus 7 is 5. No. So we have negative 7x plus 2y is equal to 6. Okay, just focus on this. Sorry, that doesn't really look better, but I felt like it'd be better. Okay, now, the only thing is we're gonna lead with a positive term. Khan Academy, he leaves it like this. But usually math teachers say, go ahead and divide everything by -1 so that we lead with a positive term. 7x minus 2y equals -6. Okay. Next. Number 16. Notice we are studying linear equations. Yeah. So write an equation in slope-intercept form. So one of these numbers represents where it begins, and one represents the movement of the phi. One of these numbers happens once, and one happens monthly. Yeah, one happens, one is where it begins, and the other is every month, every month, every month.
Y-intercept, slope.
So correct, one is the y-intercept and one is the slope. So where does it begin?
35.
Can we see that the 35 is awesome, a constant number? It only happens once. It doesn't happen monthly. And you guys are way ahead of me. The slope is 25 per month. 25/1. So y equals 25x plus 35.
That's it.
That's it. You're like, please tell me that one's going to be on the test. Just be careful to not switch your numbers. Okay, 17 is going to be on your own. Let's talk about 18. X cubed is squared. Y squared is squared. Okay, so I have a base to a power to a power.
They multiply together.
Multiply x to the 6th, y to the 4th. Okay, number 19. What happens if you have something with a negative exponent?
To the other side.
Okay, so we say cross the line, change the sign. So using the cross the line, change the sign method, do this one, please. So it goes from being on the bottom to the top. Cross the line, change the sign.
Could you add it with 2a to the second
You
column?
must combine those.
Okay.
Okay, so now I have A's and A's. You must combine those. So I have base to the power, base to the power. This is not superpowers, right? This is not like 18. 2a to the 3rd, 3 over b squared. Okay, number 20. What is anything? Let's use the variable we're not using. Anything to the 0th power. I'm not sure. Let's practice with the calculator. So with your calculator, how do I do 5 to the 0th power? Okay, I'm going to go 5 exponent 0 with my calculators. Okay, so find this button, the exponent button, and go 5 exponent 0. And what do you get?
Guessing at 0.
Okay, we have a couple guesses of 0. What is 5 to the exponent 0? We have an in-person guess of 0 and we have a Zoom guess of 0. So with your calculator, now, if you currently don't have a calculator and you're using your phone, you would have to turn it sideways and you would go 5, and then you would hit a button sideways that looks like XY, and then you would hit 0. Okay, 5 to the 0th power equals 1. Anything to the 0th power equals 1. Basically, that's like saying 5 over 5, they canceled, they're gone, but 5 divided by 5 does not equal 0. 5 divided by 5 equals 1. 0 power means there were 5s and they canceled. There are none left, but we know that 5 divided by 5 is 1. So anything to the 0th power is 1. So that leaves this. Now I'm going to switch it because I cannot stand seeing it not in alphabetical order. So the next question is this done or does the 2 need to move? Do you have to move a negative coefficient, or you only move things with a negative exponent?
And you're just multiplying.
Ding, ding, ding. Diego, what were you gonna say?
Nothing. You're just multiplying one, so it would be the same, right?
It's done. It's the same. You do not move negative coefficients. You only move terms with a negative exponent. Okay? Because you've had negative coefficients in the past and you've never moved them. You only move things with a negative exponent. Okay. Everything else. Oh, these are review from last week. We're going to practice more graphing. Those are on your own, or stick around and we'll do them together. Number 25, rule for the table. Rule for the table. We notice it has a common difference. It's going up 3. It is linear. And that's what we're studying at the moment. Okay, can you please write a rule for the table and type it into the chat?
Slope is 3.
Ding, ding, ding. The slope is awesome. 3. Thank you. It's kind of nice when you have all these numbers. The slope is 3. Where, oh, where can my y-intercept be? Where, oh, where could it be? Where, oh, where can my y-intercept be? Where, oh, where could it be? Yeah, because I have the y value when x equals 0, the y-intercept is -4. Y equals 3x minus 4. Okay, now, is the slope 3 over 1 or 1 over 3?
3 over 1.
So the slope, very carefully, change in y's over change in x's. Yeah, the most common mistake is to go, oh, 1 over 3. Super easy to make right there. Change in y's over change in x's. Okay, we are done with the new material. So now, which ones do you not want to do on your own and you want me to work?
9.
So now we're going to jump around a little bit. Starting with number 9. Let's find the multiplier. So it is 100% with a 3.5% increase, and then we'll do 23. Plus 3.5% equals 103.5%. Okay, thanks for coming. Have a good day. See you next week. Okay, change it to a decimal. 1.035. So 32000 Take 32000. Let's practice. Multiply by 1.035. Three, 33120. Do not clear your calculator. Multiply by 1.035. $3,4,279.20. Multiply by 1.035.
Would we round, did we only round to? Oh,
Money. Round to money on paper. Do not clear it out of your calculator. $3,547.97 times 1.035. $3,672.74. Not too bad. Okay, next request is number 23. Okay, good choice. I was actually gonna do this one even if you didn't request it. Okay, so we need to graph. And our equation is in standard form. First, we need to switch it to slope-intercept form. So x minus y equals -4. So in order to be slope-intercept form, notice my y's. So look at this one right here. My y's are on the left, my x's are on the right, and my constant term is on the right. So what do I need to move? All right, so I'm going to move the x. I'm going to subtract x from both sides. -y. Notice, not like terms. I have an x term and I have a constant term. I'm going to put the x first. Your y term must be positive. So what do I need to do next? Ooh, no, careful. I want my y alone and I want my 4 to stay over there.
multiply.
So I'm gonna multiply, or I usually divide. Divide by -1. And you're gonna notice every time you do these, every time you practice, it's pretty much the same, very similar steps. So the more you practice, the more it just becomes second nature. Okay, so now I have slope-intercept form. So I need M and B. So what is M?
1.
Do we see the invisible one there? Yeah, So 1/1. And B is 4. Okay, so M could be 1/1. It could be -1/-1. Because we understand how integers work, a negative divided by a negative is also +1. Okay, so from the 4, what am I gonna do?
Go up 1 square and go to the right 1 square.
Okay, up 1, right 1. Up 1, right 1. Or down 1, back 1. There you go. So take your standard form, convert it to slope-intercept form. Grab your M, grab your B, and graph.
$24.
Okay, let's do 24. So I have standard form. I need to convert it to slope-intercept form. So sometimes it's called slope-intercept, sometimes it's called y-intercept form, or maybe that's just me, I accidentally say it. So 3x plus 4y is equal to -4.
Gotta move the 3x.
Move the 3x. Okay, starting to look familiar, very similar steps. Move the x's. For y is equal to -3x minus 4. Notice the -4 is a constant number. The 3 x's are a variable, is a variable term, not like terms. Okay, next step.
Yeah.
Divide. Yeah, see how it's kind of starting to look familiar. Y is equal to -3/4 x minus 1. M is -3/4. B is -1. So -1. Okay, so the M could be -3/4, or it could be 3/-4. So plot this slope, please. I think that is the easier one. Down 3, 1, 2, 3/4. Or I could go up 3, back 4.
Number 2.
Oh, ready with the next one. Okay. Are we good on this one? Question?
Is number 21 and the same thing to switch the 7/3 to 3/7?
Let's do number 21, and then we'll do number 2. Okay, so it's already in slope-intercept form. We're not, there's no switching. What is the slope?
7/3. I thought you switched it because it was the switch.
Okay. when the directions say, so for example, number Number 15, I had to leave my final answer in standard form. That's when I eliminated the 3. Only if I want my final answer in standard form. If I start with this, I'm good to graph. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I messed up on the test too, like, cause I switched over.
Oh. Yeah. See, those questions are hard. What is the first step? Like those are hard questions. Okay, so do we see that the slope is 7/3 and the b is -5?
Yeah.
So where do I begin? -5. So 7/3, change in y over change in x. So I need to go up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Diego. Sorry, that just made the video. So, any questions on using the slope formula for number 1? Notice it only says find the slope. It does not say find the equation of the line. So let's do this really quick. If it says find the slope, this is all you are doing. It seems like sometimes people don't know when to stop and they go ahead and find the line. Just find the slope of the line. So I'm going to go this direction. 4 minus 7 and 6 minus 1. -3/5. Done. Stop. No slope intercept. No solving for b. The directions say find the slope. That's it. Okay, so I see some mistakes where people keep going like we do on the other problems on here. Okay, Diego's question is number 2. Find the first 5 terms. What is the first term?
12.
And how do I get to the next term?
Plug it in, right?
Add 30? Yeah, plug it in. So 12 plus 30 is 42.
That's it.
How do I get the next one? Plug this in, plus 30 is 72. Plug 72 in, plus 30 is 102. Plug it in. Plus 30 is 132. Ya es todo.
3.
Okay, now I realize some of you are going to need to disappear. We're going to keep going and I'm going to answer all the questions. If you need to disappear, then thanks for coming by. Okay, given the explicit formula, find the first 5 terms. And find the 52nd term. Okay, so I want the first term. How do I find the first term?
Is that -38?
Wait, what?
-38?
-38 is not the first term. Yes. Okay, so take this one and plug it in for n. Right? So negative 38 plus 30 times 1 is
Negative.
negative 8. Is the first term. Okay, so the second term, what am I gonna do?
Add 30.
Okay, I could do it that way. N is 2, right? I'm gonna sub in n is 2. So negative 38 plus 60 is 22. Put a 3 here. Negative 38 plus 90 is 52. I'm like, okay, I see it now. I'm just gonna add 30. 82, 112. You may have seen it more quickly than I did. But so at least I plug in the first two. And then I'm like, oh, wait, this is how much you're adding every time, right? There's the common difference right there. You just don't have the beginning, the first term.
Okay. 52nd term.
Oh, yes, 52nd term. So a sub 52 is negative 38 plus 30 times 52. Notice the explicit formula is better for the 52nd term. Recursive, you would have to go hop, 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 52 hops.
Yeah.
Okay, is
30.
careful, negative 38 using the negative sign below the 3 plus 30 times 52. And you should get
1,522.
yes, 1522. Any other questions? Yes. All right. Number 6. A recursive formula has 1 part or 2 parts?
2.
2 parts. Awesome. A sub 1 and a sub n. Now, do you notice that this one is going up faster? It does not have a common difference. It has a common ratio. To find the common ratio, let's make a ratio of 64 divided by 16. And what do you get? 4. What if I did the ratio of 16 divided by 4?
4.
4. What if I did 4 divided by 1?
4.
So can you see that when you do your ratios, you're getting a common ratio? So we say R equals 4. A sub 1 is 1. How do I get the next term?
5 by 4.
I take the previous term and multiply by 4. but we don't leave the 4 over there. Okay, it becomes a coefficient. The next, it's 4 times, excuse me, the previous term. Notice the n-1 is a subscript. It's not like something that needs to be distributed. It's a subscript. Recursive, 2 steps. Okay, so are you good with 5 and good with 7?
I think so.
You know what? Let's do 7. There's a trick.
Ratio is -5.
Yeah, see how the ratio is negative? And it's kind of interesting because it starts positive, turns negative, it's gonna switch signs. So a sub 1 is 1, a sub n is -5 times a sub n-1, right? You're multiplying by -5.
Maybe 17.
17. Always good to practice exponents. Okay. Invisible 1, right? Go ahead and do this and let's compare answers. Like I need to stand. We've been sitting a very long time. Okay. There's a 1 here, yeah. 3. A to the power 2, B to the power 5. That's it.
But does it matter when you put the A and B?
Okay. I have a pet peeve. I put mine in alphabetical order. If it was a Canvas quiz and it's picky, go ahead and put it in alphabetical order. If this was written, b to the 5th a squared is equivalent and correct. It's just kind of a personal preference. Diego.
I wrote a multiplication sign between the 2 variables. Does that affect what's going on, or is that the same thing?
Now, why is that bad? Because what does that multiplication sign look like?
I used a dot.
Oh, that's not so bad. This is really bad, right? Because it looks like an X. And if you were to photomath it, sometimes you photomath it and it throws in a time sign, which looks like an X. Okay, another reason why photomath is not good. So this, okay, that's not horrible. I would not deduct points, but it's kind of like, okay, those are training wheels. It's time to ride the bike without that dot. Okay, now one more thing, photomath. Can you ever photomath? Yes, to see how it's working. And then you put that away and you do it without looking. Then it's okay. Okay, any other questions? 22, absolutely. Absolutely. But do you see how this works? People that don't need to see them are like, later, I'm gone. But if you want to see them, we will do these. Okay, but at some point, I need to leave for lunch. Okay, it's already in slope intercept form. All right, -1/1 and -1. There's lots of -1s there. Yeah, okay so far? Now, It could also be the negative on the bottom. So begin at -1. Down 1 over 1. Or up 1, back 1.
If you were doing like a test, we would like both of them like that.
If you mean what happens if you forget the second one,
Yeah.
it's fine. Okay, so in showing your work, if you just showed this, I'm not going to mark you off for not putting the second one, but it's helping us to understand it more deeply. So, but I wouldn't mark you off as long as your line was correct. Technically on the test, I just want 2 points. So on the test, you would mark the y-intercept and 1 other point and draw a line. You don't have to give me 8 on a test.
What if we didn't draw a line, what would happen?
You might lose points. If you just did this. No. You would probably lose something. Draw a line. Okay, Zoomers, anything we did not cover? Are we good?
I did the whole thing.
We're good. Okay, thanks for staying. You are welcome. Thanks for coming. Have a great week. And we'll talk to you later.